What's up, you guys? It's Jonathan Carter back with another J Carter Movies, and today we are going to be talking about Trap. Trap is the newest film from writer-director M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan has kind of been back on the return, and I would say the last decade, with movies like The Visit, Split, 2023's Knock at the Cabin. And also, M. Night Shyamalan has had a very tumultuous career. He came out swinging with The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, a very solid 3-movie run that a lot of directors would be totally satisfied with achieving. But then his movies kind of fell off. So I went into this movie a little apprehensive, not really sure what to expect, but with a positive mindset, as I try to do with movies. Right off the bat, the movie is fine. If you are hoping for top tier storytelling in the style of The Sixth Sense, you're not going to find that here. But while it's not top tier M. Night Shyamalan, it's also not bottom tier M. Night Shyamalan. Excuse me, something in my throat there. The plot of Trap follows a family man who is a serial killer named The Butcher, and he takes his daughter to a pop concert. The artist actually played by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. I don't know if it's the same daughter that wrote and directed The Watchers, but nevertheless, the FBI gets wind that this serial killer, The Butcher, is going to be at this concert, so they set a trap. And that's basically what the premise is there on top. Before we get into the positives, I just want to say, please be sure to like and subscribe. That would really help me out a lot. And with all of that said, let's get into the positives. The big standout here in the positives, the acting. Josh Hartnett, who plays The Butcher, was just in last year's Oppenheimer. He's fantastic here. Truly plays this character very well. I don't think there's a bad performance in the film. Even the daughter plays very well for a child actor. And also, there are legitimate funny moments, like genuinely had me laughing in the theater, and the people that were in my theater were also laughing. Also, with the premise of this serial killer at this concert, he's trying to escape, you don't know what his next move is going to be, there is a genuine sense of dread that builds. It being an M. Night Shyamalan film, what's on the surface, there's much more to it, and as the film continues on, these layers get pulled back and you start to learn more about the characters. Last thing I want to talk about in the positive section, the cinematography. There are a few shots in this film where I was actually surprised, like, oh, that shot looks really good. That's very interesting. Not what I was expecting from this film. Moving into the mixed, this movie feels like two different films. I'm not going to get into spoilers here, but the first part of the film is set at the concert, and then the second part takes place somewhere else. And once you move away from the concert, the whole film just starts to feel tonally different, tonally a mess, and just very like M. Night Shyamalan had two different scripts that he was trying to piece together. When that switch happens, you really start to feel the runtime of this movie. The movie is, I think it clocks in right under 2 hours. It feels like it's like 2.5 hours there. It really gets bogged down when you get into the second half. There's some very unnatural dialogue. Now, I haven't seen the movie Old, but I did read reviews saying it's like some of M. Night Shyamalan's worst dialogue. There is a lot of odd dialogue here that just feels like M. Night Shyamalan doesn't know how a conversation flows. It's too unreal, and with that, there are a little too many moments in this film where you have to suspend your belief. Not like a Fast and Furious film where they're like going to space or whatever and you're like, this is ridiculous, but smaller moments where you're like, that is too convenient. That would not happen in real life. Why is this happening when it's very evident that that's not possible? One or two of those in a film, I'm good with. You got to get the premise moving forward. You have to get the plot going. That makes sense. When you get to like 5 or 6 moments that just you're like, that's not real, that's too many. And this film has far too many of those. Getting into the negatives, the film completely falls apart by the end. Again, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there are just so many things that don't make any sense. And if anybody took a second look at the script, they would be like, that doesn't work. There were a lot of plot points in this film at the end, like plot conveniences to get things moving forward that absolutely, if you gave it a second thought, It makes no sense. There's no way so much of this stuff would happen at the end. If you've seen the movie, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. And also, in an M. Night Shyamalan natural twist, little bit of spoilers here, there's no twist. It's just not here. And I also heard that the knock at the cabin doesn't have a twist, so maybe M. Night Shyamalan's moving away from that. All that being said, I'm going to give Trap a 5 out of 10. And on a see it, stream it, or skip it, I'm going to go with skip it. There's my thoughts on Trap. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've seen Trap, let me know all your thoughts about it in the comments. Please be sure to like and subscribe. That would really, really help me out a lot. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.